Hi, welcome to the first in a series of ACM videos where we're going to talk about how to quickly get started with simple software engineering topics that seem more complicated than they really are. Today I'm going to show you how you can use Amazon Web Services to create a relational database in minutes. So everybody's familiar with the Amazon Web Store, but what you may not be familiar with is the Amazon Web Services. So Amazon also provides software engineering services and other types of web services to companies and educational entities and other parties. And you can use these services to host virtual machines, and what we're going to talk about today is databases. And I think that knowing how to start and use a database is a really important skill. Throughout my degree program, I used it many times in different classes such as capstone and software engineering, and it's just a really good skill to have, and it can be done really quickly and easily. So to get started, you're going to need to create an Amazon Web Services account, which you can do right here. Now, something to note is that it will ask you for some form of payment. That is because most of the web services on offer are in a sort of pay-as-you-go model. But as long as you stick to the free tier for most of the services, then you won't ever be charged. So once you have your account, you're going to want to sign into the console. I'm already signed in, so we will go straight to that. And you'll be put on a page like this. So up in the top left-hand corner, you'll find the Services tab. And from here, we want to go to RDS. Now, RDS stands for Relational Database Service. So we'll click on that, and it will bring us to the RDS console. Now, if we go into databases, you'll see that I already have a database here, but I'm going to show you how you can create your own from scratch. So click on this Create Database button here, and you'll be brought to here. Keep this setting Standard Create, so we're going to put in all of the options, and most of you have probably taken or will take MySQL at some point, or database systems, which is in MySQL. So you're going to want to switch it to that. That way you can interface with it with standard SQL code. You can leave these options, and you're going to want to move to free tier, because if you use either of these, then you might have to pay for the database, but with this, they'll give you a database that has like a limit on how many connections it can have and how much data it can hold, but it'll be free. So then you can set the name. We'll just go test, and then you log into it using a username and password. So you can set that up. I'll leave it as admin, and I'll put a password. Alright, let's see, this can be left as defaults. Most of this stuff is pretty standard. There's not really much need to change it for like a real simple database. But under connectivity, you're going to want to actually, no, I believe that this is all fine too. Additional configuration, this is what you need to do. So this is it, by default, it doesn't actually create a database, it just creates a instance of a server where your database will go. So you want to be extra careful that you go into this additional configuration menu and you type in a name for your database. That will cause it to actually create a database for which you can start adding tables and other information into it. So we'll also just call this one test. Let's see. And then from there, you're pretty much done. You just press Create Database, and here it is. It is in the status of creating. It takes a few minutes for them to actually like allocate the space on one of their machines, because you're actually getting real hardware for this database to run on somewhere in some Amazon data center. So that's pretty cool. But once your database is made, you can go into it and you'll find information like the endpoint. That's the URL that you would use to connect to it, so on and so forth. And in the next video, we'll show you how to connect to it and what you can do with it. Alright, thank you.